So I had to show you guys. I was going through the plants that I may be taking cuttings from. I have propagations for this Surigawensis. I gotta water her. But look at the sun stressing. Now that I chopped her down and can put her right under those Growlights, she is looking so beautiful. And the leaves on the props are even bigger, I believe. But I made the mistake of letting the sap get on the leaves. So there are these white sections on the leaves that I may not even bother trying to sell that propagation. I might just keep it and maybe take more. Here you can see where the new leaf is. It has woody stems, right? But you can tell where the newest leaf came from, right there. Here, this one has dried off, so I'll probably cut this off. Yeah, this one's so easygoing. Now, this is in a glass of pond, no reservoir, or no, what am I trying to say? No drainage. I wanted to show you this as well, the Vanviengiensis. I see my little tag, I misspelled it. Here's the spelling. Vanviengiensis. Vanviengiensis, something like that. Yeah, this one, I can't even describe. It's kind of like you got to be here and touch these leaves. I just sold a propagation. The top is kind of glossy and smooth, but the bottom is like kind of velvety, is the way I want to describe it. And look at the new leaves coming. Let me come down so you can see how they come in. The coloring, so pretty. I'm trying to turn it and not mess the stem. It needs an extension, obviously. I'm gonna get another trellis that fits into this thing. I had chopped it before and then that just seemed to bring on more growth. I was hoping it would get bushier down here, but yeah, it is what it is. I'm not taking any cuttings. Look at the biggest leaf on this one. This is my Sarawak cream, Latifolia Sarawak cream. Look at that big boy. And look at this one. I think I messed up with the watering at the time. It's in the original mix. I got this one from, this one came from Plant Life Flex, I believe. So let's see who else we have. I have this Natalie, but I actually have some cuttings already. I haven't offered them yet. Look at that. Can you see? I'm sorry, now it's getting a little crowded. You see that? I love the shape of the leaves. This is a Deschidia ovata. I do have a plant that's nice and full now and ready to be sold. I need to list it. I haven't listed it yet. It's very time consuming when you go to list. They make it easy on that Palmstreet app, but still you want to get good shots of the plant. Now this is what I love. I chopped this back so that I could take it off the wall. I had it on a trellis, but I wanted it right under the lights because then you get this beautiful sun stressing on these leaves. And I really want it to be very bushy. This was really full at one point, and these leaves are very succulent-like, so it's heavy. So yeah, I like this self-watering pot because it's flat in the back and it has this little opening here so you can put it on the wall. So I do like those. They're very nice. And you know, it's plastic, lightweight. So I might take cuttings from that, but I'm going to wait until tomorrow since I just watered it. And this I think is good to cut. It's okay, but these pots, I'm trying to get used to these pots. I could just bottom water, but I don't know that the wick will wick up all the way through. This is my Hoya obscura, no ID, cross no ID. This thing I have propagated from so much. I've sold quite a few plants. So let me introduce you to Hoya obscura silver. But yeah, so this one, same family, but it has a little specks of silver. So that's got enough water. And I watered this Natalie here. And I want to water the Bambiensis. I want to clean these leaves too, because they're down there. They get a little dusty. Yeah. So I was saying earlier, I want to get like a huge bin. I meant to stop at the dollar store when I was out and about, but came back home too soon. Didn't think about it till now, really, that I wanted to stop and get a huge bin for when I spray these things down. It's easier for me to put a couple of them in there in a deep, nice deep bin and just spray them down so there's not a lot of overspray, and then put them back. But I like to do sections at a time because then I know everybody's been treated, who's side by side, sharing space and air. Okay, this one needed. This is so pretty with the sun stressing. The thing is, it just wants to be big, and then I won't be able to give it that kind of light unless I put it close to the window in the summertime. Right now, there's not enough light, but I like that look. Very pretty. Surigawensis. If you like big leaf Hoyas, nice firm leaves. I got this one from Gabriella Plants. I don't have a date. Yeah, I don't have a date on here. This was before I started taking those kind of notes. Let me get this thing and clip off the dried stem. You know, everyone's talking about plant burnout, I think is the term. Let's bring you in a little closer. I definitely have experienced that. And I think that comes from having so many plants. My goal is to downsize quite a bit. My regular house plants, not the Hoya, but the other common household plants that I love and don't want to part with. Hold on a minute. Let me catch that before it makes a mess. Those plants I have to work on, like my Aglaonema that I have up in my bedroom. I've been seeing them since the temperature changed, the weather changed. They're you know, they need help. And I need to do some rehab for them. I'm not getting rid of them, I don't think. I didn't show you my Silver Bay. That's my easy baby. She's so good. Very easy care. Maybe because I have it in that take root pot. I don't know. But it likes spawn. So my other ones are still in soil. Those are the ones I struggle with. And I always say struggle is because I'm neglecting them. It's not really a struggle. Maybe if I paid better attention, you know, as to when I'm watering them. But getting back to the plant goals, I'm out of water already. This is a nice little cutting. This will make a really nice plant. And actually, I could chop it again. So there are 2 stems in the pot. I don't know. We'll see. All right, let me toss that in there. And I probably could take another one. Yeah, those plants have gone. The Obscura Cross No ID. I also have a different Obscura that I struggled with at first. But she's... Ooh, shoot. Now I got it on my clothes. That's smart. I see a plant that can use chopping. This, oh gosh, don't do that. The vines, I tell you, they're getting everywhere. Now this doesn't, it doesn't bleed that white sap. And I don't know if it's just carnosas that have the clear. Is it carnosa? If you know below, please share that. Now these stems, I don't normally want to chop the stem like that, but this is growing like crazy and starting to catch on to things. And, you know, just want her to behave herself. Such a beautiful plant. So nice. Here's one that's back here going wayward. Cut you. Yeah. The one I have, I think I do have one on the shop that's listed. And boy, is she growing like crazy. She shot out a vine already. Like these, I'm gonna chop the vine, hoping that it'll, maybe not right away. When it starts growing, then I don't know, maybe I'll chop it back, or maybe I'll put them, maybe this will be one pot with a little trellis. So this one had 2 vines that I chopped. I got so frustrated with those 2 vines. This thing was stretching out every which way, causing all kinds of trouble. This is the Lois andrewsiana. And yeah, I have 2 propagated plants listed. And they're huge leaves, bigger than the original leaves. But yeah, this one had grabbed on to my Rebecca that was on the shelf about a foot away. Both stems had latched on to her stems, and I had to take the time to separate. And anyway, this little cutie here, I'm very tempted to chop her and share this stem, but I think I'm going to give her a little bit more time. Let me water her. This is the, what do you call it, baby? VL9 that I got from planted in Rhode Island. It's grown so much. I love the shape of these cute little leaves. I failed with the other one that resembles this plant. 7240. I don't remember the tire number. But yeah, that one I bought and quickly killed. Not on purpose, of course, but yeah. I don't know what it was. I can't remember. But yeah, I was talking about plant goals. And one of the goals I have, now my Hoya collection, I'm not cutting back on my Hoyas. I'm always going to get Hoyas. I think I'm not going to go for such big leaf Hoyas like that. Just have a couple of the latifolia Sarawak. But I like them, you know, mid-size kind of leaves. The ones I can kind of control because, you know, you run out of room, right? And, you know, with the trellising, I don't mind these, what is that, about a foot tall trellis. But when you start getting into the 4-foot one, like my coronaria upstairs, it's got several trellises in that pot because that is the most viney plant I've ever owned in my life. And I have to go and check on that one. And I've taken propagations, a few. And they've sold and they're doing well. One of my friends bought one and she sends me updates of all her babies. She's moved away. She used to live up the street. And we used to always go plant shopping together. But yeah, she'll send me all the Hoya that she's gotten hooked on. And some she's bought from me. I think all the Hoya have been coming through me. Yeah. So it's nice. She's even explored the world of pond and I think tree fern. I don't know. It's funny. Now, a lot of people don't like pond, and I may have said this in a video, and I'm like, to each their own. I mean, I'm not pushing it on anybody, but when I found that my Hoyas like it, I just kind of go with it, and so far so good. If something rots or whatever, if I run into a problem before I lose the plant, I'll chop it up and start it in something different, like a chunky substrate if I need to. But I really kind of like dealing with the pond as opposed to like some of the soil things, the soil substrates. I don't want to deal with soil, honestly. So I like the soilless mixes. But with the repotting, the roots of these plants, the Hoyas, are fine little roots. And I feel like they really latch on to the, let's say, the cocoa chunks or whatever. And it's hard to get them off. And that's where I get a little frustrated. So for me, that's what works for me. And that's what I like. I'm not trying to push it on anyone. Like a few of my customers, I tell them you can repot it into whatever you want. That's why I'm selling you seedlings. They're in little shot cups usually. Sometimes they're in a self-watering. But for the most part, I sell it to you either in a shot cup or those little 7-ounce clear cups. Because I know you're going to want to pot it into whatever you like. Just do your research, figure out how to do it so you don't lose your plant. I always say if you have long enough vines, take cuttings and root them up in water or whatever, just in case you have any problems when you do the repot. But yeah, for years, I didn't want to repot my Hoya. I thought, oh no, they don't like repots. They like tight pots and everything else that we were hearing online. And then I asked someone who I watched, she used to repot her Hoyas all the time. And I mean, she's been collecting for years and her plants are fine. I mean, I guess she runs into some issues sometimes, but live and learn. All right, so let me see. I have cuttings from, I'm trying to think if I need to cut anything else here. I would chop this vine on my Rebecca, but not yet. I have a UT033 already on the shop. It needs water though, I can tell by the leaves. Let me get that and show that to you. Some of these, I chopped them purposely so they would stay on my shelves. Look at these leaves. Oh my God, look at this one. This has to be new. Wow. And look at the venation on this. But you know, it feels fine. Look at that little leaf there. Aw. Yeah, it is. It needs water. I thought they were pretty veiny looking. And I'm like, these leaves look a little different. I wouldn't say dehydrated, but definitely showing signs of like thirsty. I love this one. Beautiful. I think I have, yeah, I did take a cutting, 2-leaf cutting or something. If I have it on the shop, I'll post a picture up there. Yeah, but it's shooting out vines again. And here, you can see that part. Let me lift the camera a little. There we go. I don't know if you can see that. There are 2 little leaves coming. So yeah, this one can use a little trellis. So I'm not going to have a choice but to give in to that. I just want the leaves to stay nice size. Okay, I think that's as far as it'll go. And then I'll work this in here. And let me get some clips. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna have a choice. This thing wants to vine out. And I'm gonna let it do what it wants to do. Here's some clips right here. This is the Vitalonoides. Now, she shot out the stem, and I had a leaf coming, and I made the mistake of touching it. I was showing it to the girls, some of my grandchildren, 2 of them were over, and they were asking me questions, and so anyway, we were chit-chatting about the new leaf, and I think I said, yeah, we can't touch this because it'll fall off and die. The new leaf is what I was referring to. And I don't know what I did, if I actually touched it or what, but it had fallen off. And I got this long stem, which is annoying me. I'm so tempted to chop it, but let me see. I have a ladder trellis. Like I said, I'm not crazy about those, but I'm definitely gonna cut back with my other house plants. I've gotten rid of a few plants already. My goal is to I gotta focus on the shop plants that I'm propagating and stuff. It's very time consuming, I'm finding, and I gotta find that balance because I have a life, I have another job, and then now the plant shop has become another big responsibility, something I want to grow, and hopefully, if it works out and shows to be profitable, it'll be something I'll do into my retirement years. So yeah, I'm sitting on an orchid clip. Okay, so I wanted to show you these. I cut these while I was reviewing the last clip. Look at that long leaf. That long stem. And then one little leaf on the end. All right, so I'm chopping this. I'm gonna use this here. This is India, Hoya India, and I'll put the accession number up top. This is one of my favorite plants. I'll have to show you the mama plant because you gotta see it to see the potential of this plant, how it can grow, just to appreciate. I had one on the shop for the longest, but it was like kind of wonky growing. So like this will be one little pot. Actually, I may include this. I didn't want to include too much with the last one I had because I know how viney this thing can be. So it will grow like crazy once it's established. And yeah, so I think I'm gonna try to do something like that. So it's a nice little full pot. But this, I'll leave it for now. We'll see what happens. Yeah, aren't the leaves pretty? It's a very glossy, firm leaf plant. I'm going to show you. I'm going to take you off the ring light. Hold on one sec. So right there you see is the mama plant. And I chopped her back a lot, but look at that. Look at the leaves down there. Yep. And the leaves get bigger. And I think because it's looking for light, so they get bigger, which I like the bigger leaves anyway. So yeah, it's such a beautiful glossy leafed plant, but it can get pretty big. So my goal is like this Vitalonoides. I'm not trying to have too many of those that big. But then look at this. I thought this was what we would call mid-size. Calistophylla black cap. But look at the size of that last leaf there. I think that's the newest leaf, or maybe that one was. But yeah, I love the markings on that. And so yeah, we'll see. But that one, I'm just waiting for it to start shooting out some more leaves to share. I figure late spring I'll be able to share more of that, maybe sooner. This here is a regular Calistophylla. Am I calling it the right thing? You guys know, if you follow me and Crassy Petiolata and Calistophylla. Yeah, I think that's Calistophylla black cat. This is a regular Calistophylla, and that can go on the shop. And this is species affinity Calistophylla. Yeah, very pretty. And this is, let me find a name here. It's in a little shot cup in here, and you see it's latched on already. Oh gosh, come on. I don't want to ruin that last leaf. This is Crassy Petiolata Splash Round Leaf. Yeah, she shut out this vine recently. Very splashy, huh? And roundish. I like the roundish leaves. But yeah, very cute. All right. I think we've gone through this section. Let me keep watering.